he's awake.
I am. I'm drinking.
You had to look at it?
Well, I was looking at it because I'm alarmed by the amount of drink already. I made a mistake. So my mistake is that I poured this beverage because I was thirsty.
Okay.
I've drank
Mixed
it down
like
to
it was my Friday night, didn't you?
I drank it down to below the bucky right there. And it's lemonade with like 5 big lugs of moonshine in it.
Oh,
there
God.
you go. That's a good thing.
What could possibly go wrong with that?
We're in for a ride tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
I may or may not have also consumed some of my homemade oil when I ate dinner about 30 minutes before we came out here.
And Chad is driving the show, so yeah, we're all screwed.
Yeah.
I love bitches. This one's gonna be good.
Awesome.
We're going to end up going through somebody's house here in a second.
Dude, talk about that. Okay, we're going to talk about several things. Here's the greatest thing that I love so much. I love that approximately 7 minutes ago, Crosby asked, what are we going to talk about on the show? And my exact words were, I don't know. And I
think your exact words were,
Yeah. I have 5 things up on the top of my screen already ready to go. And I would have 6 things, but I couldn't find the other one that McTaggart wants to talk about. So send me
the wagons?
link to it. Yeah, the wagons. I couldn't find
it. It's on BANGshift, dude. It's on the page.
I know, but I couldn't find. I did a search. I couldn't find it. So send me the link.
He couldn't find BANGshift.
Yeah, no. Hello. Yes. So as always, I'm Chad Reynolds, a.k.a. BANGshift Chad. That dude over there. Whoa, look, first time. Aimed the right direction.
Got it right.
Ryan McTaggart over here. Right down here. Wickman. There we go. I love that you spelled your name right, finally. Charles Wickham. And over there, we need to give all the squares a logo. That's what, I can do that. I can do a graphic with a logo over each one. So like Crosby could be the, like GM Performance Parts square or whatever. Ooh, sponsorship opportunities. Whose business would like to own a square? Or if Crosby Designs logo via email, I could do that too. Okay, but here's the entertaining stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're going to talk about stuff from the chat here in a minute. Doug DeLay in the house. Kenny Edwards, my dude. Can't wait to see you again in a couple of weeks. Although I am not as, I don't know. I have some apprehension, Kenny. I feel like some shit has gone down and things are going to get a little janky there. Anyway, want to say hi to Travis. So our friend Travis Nowak, he picked up this incredibly badass 2-door Tahoe.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
Yep.
And he just purchased this. Now, he got it here in Texas. I actually saw it. I posted it on BANGshift and I see 10 Nationals coverage because I thought it was a really good deal for how nice it is. I want to say it was like listed for like 10 grand or something, maybe less than that. I want to say 9,500. I could be wrong. Anyway, whatever the number was, I was like, dude, that's fair. The interior is mint and not all stock. It's like got leather and stuff in it. It's got a cowl hood on it. The thing's lowered. It's got rims. Like it's nice. The paint is really, really bitchin'. It's a low mileage truck. Like it's a 60,000 mile truck or something like that. It's nice, dude. And Travis scored that thing and it's going to be his daily driver. And I love him for it because he does daily drive like cool custom stuff all the time, including Blackie, his big block square body, which is rad. Yeah. And his big block square body that, by the way, Travis was willing to, you want to know, here's this, you'll love this. Travis was willing to sell to us. Daphne and I were going to buy it.
That's right.
For Cole to drive as his first truck.
I remember.
And he didn't want a square body. Anybody that wants to know why my kid's retarded, there you go. I mean,
I have never questioned why he's retarded.
A big block, standard cab, short bed, square body. Yeah, already lowered, killer patina.
Have you seen the?
Not nice enough.
Have you seen
No,
the
I wanna-
giveaway vehicle for NSRA 2023?
Or are you
No.
talking about the white OBS that's Good Guys giveaway?
No,
or-
that's good, guys. This is
Yeah.
NSRA.
Okay, and
What-
I'm going to
what-
go on record. I'm sorry. The Roadster Shop OBS,
Yes.
it's not all that.
Uh-oh.
It's not.
I've seen the frame. I like the frame.
The
There are
frame
some
is
good stuff in
overdone, but it's okay. It's just not all that. I got it. There's things that are wrong on it. If you're trying to do what you're trying to do, there's things on it that are wrong. I'm just going to say it. It's fine. Okay. Shut up. Nobody argue with me. All right. Anyway, so
NSRA's giveaway truck is a 77 regular cab, short bed, square body with the GM crate 502 and a Tremec 5-speed from American Powertrain.
wow.
It's
Dude,
lowered.
The old man doing a square body Chevy pickup?
Yeah.
Dude.
The truck
Well,
is
you can
on
tell-
roll right now. It's all new sheet metal except for the cab. Doors, fenders, core support, bed, everything's all brand new. I forgot who did the custom frame on it, but it has like a Budnik Famosa 1820 combo on it.
Ooh, see, they're winning. They're already beating the Roadster Shop. Sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah. And the thing is, to win the truck, you have to be attending the Nationals in Louisville. It's not like
Next
one of those things where you go to a show and register. You have to actually be present to win, kind of thing, and be registered for the show.
So let's road trip there.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you got a
Have
one.
fun, guys.
I think last year this past year the attendance was like 6,500. So you got a 1 in 6,500 chance of winning a truck. So
Nothing wrong with that.
no.
All right. So want to say hi to David Loney and Mostly Old Parts and Imran back in the house. Mostly Old Parts saying feed the beagle. Yes. Those of you that aren't aware, Toby, the $10,000 beagle that Wickman has. Actually, Toby won you 10 grand, but you've spent way more than that in vet bills. That bastard still owes you some money.
Yeah.
But he's so damn cute. Yeah, but he's so cute. So the old man beagle in the house, but Wickman also got a cat recently, Pookie, which is awesome. Doug DeLay in the house, of course, Kenny Edwards, David Bordelaise, who says, who else besides Weston did they give Hellcat crate motors to? As far as I know, they gave Hellcat crate motors to several people, but I don't know who in particular.
Is that what's in the Taylors and Hot Rod
I
Garages?
believe
Savoy?
so. Those are the only two I'm tracking is the Savoy and Champlin's Challenger.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, Wilcox says, damn it, Crosby, turn your phone. So, because you have it on the skinny way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's trying to help himself out.
And make it wide.
Stan Nelson asks who gets the adult entertainment ad put in their block.
Brian Lum says the OBS pickups that Justin Keith has built were pretty badass. I agree with that. Rod Hagen in the house. Ryan Abbott, what's up?
My OBS is getting there.
True. Yes. So Wickman has a wheel back here that is solid steel. It's a 18 by 8. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, 18 by 8s. And he went, oh my God, these are heavy. Duh. There's no holes in it, dude. It's all there. Like that's all. There's nothing else you can add to a steel wheel that doesn't already have on it. Like, so it is the heaviest steel wheel you can get in that size.
Yeah.
But it's going to be cool. What are you going to do to them on the truck?
Those are heavy.
Oh yeah. But those are what? 20s?
20 by 12s.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, 12.
Yeah. Artilleries, which still only have little bitty pieces cut out of them.
Yeah. Not big enough pieces cut out on them to make them wide enough to not kill me if I drop
Right.
one on me.
I got you.
The 18s are going off to see if they will tuck on the front with the radical suspension stuff. Is in the works. If they do not tuck in the front, they will go to the rear, and then 17.
What offset are they?
4.5.
Yeah.
And on an 8,
Oh, on an 8?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that fit. Well, it's going to be tight.
it's gonna be tight. Should have
yeah,
been
real
5.
close. So
You might just have to trim the flange on the inside of the front fender.
yeah,
Or just
Just roll it.
roll the fender.
yeah. But if the 8s work on the front, then we're going with 9.5 or 10s on the rear.
And if they don't fit on the front, you're putting them on the back and putting a 7 up front?
Yes, 17.7.
Oh, okay, there you go.
10 with 5 3/4.
Yeah, I was going to say 5 3/4 is the magic number out back with the 10-inch.
Yep.
Or
big
6.
10-inch.
If you can get 6, do 6, and then you put a spacer to fine-tune it right to where you
Yep.
That's what I always did. I always did a 10. I always did a 6 and then did a 1/4-inch spacer. You know, they're never straight either. Like from the factory, the rear end's always over one side more than the other.
Yeah.
So you might have like a 3/16 spacer on one side, a 1/4 or a 3/8 on the other. You know what I mean?
That was one of the things
Quality.
on my.
Well, there couldn't be anything off on Wickham's truck, so
Since not one body part came on it.
there's got to be
the damn railroad tie went through or whatever.
there's got to be some part on it that's only got 60,000 miles.
Yeah. How many
Welcome
colors
to the
is it now?
savage evening tonight. Let's go.
What color? How many colors is it now?
4,
11 or 12. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
All of them.
I think
My
we're-
favorite, my absolute favorite thing on Wickman's truck, though, and he knows where I'm going with this. He's gonna laugh his ass off. I would have a picture of this. The bed on Wickman's truck is like the most beautiful part on the truck because it was a show truck thing built for a TV show. All this bullshit. Anyway, the tailgate, he went through all the work, put this great French license plate set up in it from the back of a fucking G-body El Camino or wagon, right? You know, that's all set in, gets it all pretty and all that stuff, and then backs into his parents' driveway into a tree. and the tree was like, literally, if he had backed it up 1.5 inches to either side, he would have seen the tree. Like, it would have been fine. But the tree was in the only spot it could be where he was like, bam, right into the tree and dented the tailgate.
I already replaced the tailgate. The new tailgate has a flip handle. It got a bolt on the roll pan that was on it. We put a license plate box in the roll pan and got a flip down license plate bracket that goes like on the
third gen Camaro.
Like Chevelle, Malibu, whatever. Monte
Yeah,
I
Carlo.
just want to point out that Wickman is the color of his own hat now. Chad, be proud.
True. Yes.
Wickman, when you back up, just go.
Yeah.
It was dark.
It was
It was dark.
The tree was
Bad
black,
accidents
and it was
happen in the dark, dude. You got to be careful.
Haley's like, does it have a backup camera? No.
Haley's just spoiled over the new truck.
I know.
Shit.
Dad, ask him how he hit the house.
Oh,
Wait a second. Oh, wait, your mom and dad's house?
This was the old house in South Texas.
Oh.
Okay, at my parents' house, I kept the 61 wagon I kept it at their house.
Yeah.
So basically, we had a pad on the side of the house. So basically, I had driven stuff in and out on the side of the house more times than I care to count.
Yeah.
The one time I'm moving vehicles around in the driveway, my dad had a new F-150, extra cab, short bed, silver.
And used it to move the house, and it wasn't in the same
I
spot.
dragged the side of that bed down the side of the house.
No.
My dad was livid.
How old were you?
This was last week.
Yeah.
No, I was like 27, 28.
Ouch.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so
How long did it
basically-
take you to pay for that?
McTaggart's gonna puke his guts out here in a
Face fucking
second.
hurts already.
What's funny is they did a claim on the homeowner's insurance. So basically, they didn't do because they put a claim through homeowners because it was a house that caused the damage.
No, sir, the house.
So what'd they say? It was a hit and run?
Great. I'm going to have Crosby die on me tonight.
Oh, that's too awesome.
Oh,
I'm going to have that on my conscience.
Okay, moving
Was the
on.
house on the property all day?
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, it's silver vehicles. I
This is
refuse to own
quickly
a silver
becoming the
vehicle.
same.
Yeah, everything you own has silver on it.
Somewhere.
Does now after he scraped it.
No,
Even the cat.
All right,
Okay.
I've had enough of you. Okay,
Here it comes to you,
so the first thing we're going to talk about is little cars, okay? And the reason is, well, twofold. Just as much as anything because it's fun. But so Ann Hesh drives down a street. Now, I don't
Speaking of Wickham,
Yeah, I don't running into houses. See the segue?
Oh my God in heaven! Wow.
was there cocaine in your system, Wickham?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's real or not, but I saw video that is supposedly from a house down the street from where Ann Hesh crashed her car.
Where she went hauling ass by the driveway?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, she went by their house at like 75 mile an hour. It was nuts.
Well, she made it all the way to the back of the house.
I know. Well,
Through
and now
the front of the house.
Wait, in her defense,
Okay.
the house was described as either 854 or 954 square feet. So it wasn't that big. Okay,
But she did it with a Mini.
I know. So I don't know any of the details. Don't care. Whatever. But this is where electric vehicles can save lives. So.
What?
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. No, McTaggart knows where I'm going. So I posted this up on BANGshift the other day and actually got a bunch of cool responses from people, which is funny. So this is a 19 hold on one second. This is a 19
60 up to like 65, 66,
yeah,
something
exactly.
like that.
Fiat 500. But here's the thing. These little cars, I mean, they're tiny. So if you don't know anything about a Fiat 500.
That's that one that Place did the conversion on, right?
Right. So the original Fiat 500, when this was brand new, this thing, the 500 comes from the number of cc's that it had. So it literally had a little air-cooled motorcycle engine in it. It was 500 cc's. It made 18 horsepower stock. So these cars are like fun to just drive around in town because they're cool and cute, but they like legitimately won't go freeway speeds or any of those kinds of things, right? So it's a great little in the city car, right? What I refer to as a city car. Well, now now the guys at Classic Electric Conversions are offering a kit for these, and it's a bolt-in deal, super simple, and it puts a 47 horsepower engine in or motor in it. 47 horsepower and all that torque. This thing must haul ass. I'll bet it's almost Ann Hesh scary. Okay. But I dig it. And if I were going to have an electric car, the one that I'm just going to drive around in town to the bar is like perfect. And I want this to be the automated car. This is where EV is perfect. I want to have this thing plugged in. Like here, I'm going to pretend I'm Crosby. I'm going to plug it into the shop all day, every day. I'm going to get in it and the passenger side, and I'm going to tell it to take me to the bar, right? Like it's an Uber driver. And it's going to drive me what is the bar? 3 miles from your shop?
Oh, from my shop?
Yeah. Not
even. It's like mile 1.8.
Yeah. Okay.
The bike barely warms up going down there, and the 32 isn't even close to even reading anything.
Right.
So let me get this straight. You want a slightly more effeminate Herbie the Love Bug that doesn't use an engine.
Yes. So
we'll call it herpes.
So that it can take me to the bar and take me back home from the bar. Yes. That's exactly what I want. You know why? here's the other reason why this is the perfect take me to and from the bar vehicle. It's too small for you to make any really horrible decisions on what people you bring home with you.
You're not wrong, but you can barely fit in that car anyways. That car is built for somebody like Vern Troyer.
Which is why it's perfect.
Well, the cool thing about it is on the way home, if there's traffic, you can split lanes with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
See? Exactly.
Yeah, until an Escalade uses you as a wheel chock.
Okay, the late 50s Volkswagens that had the 1200cc engine was rated at 40 horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
And those things topped out at what? 50?
They're
50.
Oh, the originals? They didn't go 60 mile an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
The original weren't 40. They were 36.
Yeah, I was going to say, the very, very first ones were
Yeah,
all
with
36.
a crash box 4-speed in them.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, meaning, folks, no synchro. So you had to match revs to shift like a man. It was awesome. Okay, so there you go. So we've now covered that I want a Fiat 500, and I'm going to make
take him
it
home at night.
powered by.
Wait.
Like
You have a
golf.
Chevette, though.
I do, but that's
two.
That's
When did you get a
300.
Chevette?
That's a whole other story. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, geez.
It's not in my possession yet. I just own it. But the Chevette's going to be 300 horsepower though. This is going to be not, or this would not be that. So, but I'm not getting
Heck, if you would have let me know you wanted a Chevette, the Stokers had the old hooker Chevette for a while.
Really?
Yeah,
but
they were trying to give that thing away.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Well, basically, I
Yeah.
think they only got like $1,500 out of it.
Oh, Jesus. So they did sell it?
Yeah, it's been gone for a while.
Oh. Okay.
But I never knew you wanted a Chevette.
Oh, yeah.
I would have told you.
Okay, so next item to discuss, you're going to laugh at this one, but this one's a technical thing, is you're going to, I know you're going to laugh, but I know none of you watched this video because you all suck. But you should have watched this video because this video is badass. Who makes the best hose clamps? Seriously. So Project Farm is one of my favorite dudes on YouTube, and he does testing of tools and all kinds of stuff. And he did hose clamps.
You already know what my choice is.
You like the heat shrink ones.
I like the heat shrink ones, but if I had to choose between those four, it'd be the first one.
Right.
Far left.
Now,
Yeah.
but what's interesting about that is when you see how he tests these, those did not do well. I believe it's because of the size that he was using, not the thing, but it's really an interesting video. You guys absolutely should pay attention to it because
they used to hold top fuel motors on the freaking chassis.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't have to have a lot of clamp force for that. Yeah, you'll see if you watch the video, you'll see the testing. But the ones that I would be getting are Breeze brand, which look like a regular Ideal style hose clamp, but they're nuts for the money. Like 1200 psi that they would hold of pressure in the line before they start leaking, which was totally amazing. They are 2,000 pounds of force to tear one apart. It's pretty interesting. So definitely check this video out. You will dig it. You, especially Crosby, will love it because this guy tests things really cool. You'll get suckered in on a bunch of his videos. Like he does, he tests shop vacs and drills and screws and all kinds of stuff, clamps and
we've talked about him.
Yeah, this dude is rad. Like he does cool stuff. Okay, so then the next one though is the Would You Rather long roof Chevy edition, and I'm going to let McTaggart start out with this one because this was his blog item, which I totally approve of, Brad, by the way.
Oh, I knew you would.
So go describe our two contestants, my friend.
All right. So usual thing, we all surf, we want to see everything. Mecum Auctions is a pinpoint for me. I had a friend who used to work for him, so I always go through and kind of see what they have every auction. they always have the beauty ones. There's always hidden gems, and these two are hidden gems. These
Is that
are
a
buried
Laguna
in.
nose?
Yes, it is.
Uh-huh.
So step one is a 76 Malibu wagon. It's got a slope Laguna nose, which isn't my favorite, but on this works really well. I tend to prefer the flat Laguna nose, but again, yeah.
Right?
And then
It's
everything about this thing is good. The interior is that same color, and it's mint. Under hood is an LSA. It's perfect.
its
Like this is
only
restaurant.
issue, in my opinion, if I'm being critical, is it has ride tech suspension on it. Okay, I believe based on the bottom of the control arms, if I'm not mistaken. But it does not appear that it's on air based on how it's sitting. I would want it to be a little lower.
No, it is on air. So
Okay.
I don't think I put that image in, but it does have a tank in the back where the rear facing seat would be.
Okay, so if
you remember right, the rear wheel wells on those things weren't very forgiving for a big tire.
Yeah, and it's got a big tire under it, which is important. So I do dig that thing. I even like the color, which is weird.
And that color, it's not bright, it's not flashy, but it suits and it's good paint. Like that looks quality. Somebody sank time into that car.
Oh yeah. And I appreciate the fact that it's still a bench seat and a column shift.
Right. Inside it looks, right off the showroom floor fresh, but it's all original for the most part.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure
see,
there's a
under
deck
the
in there
hood
somewhere.
looks factory also. I mean, it looks like that's what it would have come with.
Well, it looks like, had Chevy built it themselves, like
that's what I mean.
on. But it's clean. It's very clean under hood.
Yeah, I like it.
So that's option one. And if I'm going to pick, that would be my one because I love the mid-70 Chevelles. Option two stands out because, well, I have a guilty conscience. I helped strip one of these things when I was a kid. But 454, all black, again, same kind of overall clean profile. The only thing that kills me on this car is the hood graphic. It's kind of a pick your poison. Do you want a true big block, full swagger? Again, the interior is day two fresh.
Air conditioning, everything. Look at the AC controls on the left-hand side, by the way, on these cars, which was only on this couple of years. And it's that way because nobody else gets to control the air conditioning, bitches. It's the driver's job. Sorry.
Mom's car.
Yeah, dude. I do dig it.
One.
Okay, what's the hood graphic? Because I don't see the hood graphic.
So you're going to really struggle to see it because I didn't put the image in. It has a checker flag motif at the center of the hood.
Jesus Christ.
It kills me. But
paint. Hold on, this car looks too good. We got to do something to it.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, then, if I was buying this car, figures it's from Texas. They
both are.
Yeah. So if it were mine,
but there is one.
The exhaust.
Is that the car that has the dual opening gate?
I believe so. I believe this year still did. Yes. So the window rolled down and then the tailgate folded out flat, or it pivoted either way.
Yeah, clamshell doesn't happen until another couple years.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though, on this. Besides the hood graphic, I don't like the exhaust, going up. That's wrong. I don't want to see pipes. But I would take it only with the caveat, if I had enough money to buy it, I would buy it only with the understanding that the guy who did the hood had to be there so I could kick him squarely in the balls before I drove on. That would be part of it. I don't know. So which one, people watching, what do you like? Oh, so Doug DeLay says he wants option 2 with option 1's engine.
Yeah.
I love that.
I mean, I'm sold. The Laguna is it for me. It's more cohesive. It's a better size. I mean, there's a line for me where it's too big, and a Malibu is right about my limit.
Yeah.
Dude,
I think I agree with McTaggart.
I think the Laguna is
I'd
the
take
one that
either
I
one
like
of them,
the most, but yeah,
on.
I would take either one if somebody was just giving to me. But if I had my choice, I'd pick the Laguna.
Yeah. And so fun fact, because I was going to dredge them again, but I decided against it. This same auction, this is Mecum Dallas upcoming. There's 2 1980s B-body wagons. They look dead stock outside, wheel caps and all, and they're both packing LSAs.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's cool.
Same auction.
I approve of that.
But these two, as soon as I saw the Laguna, I'm like, I'm sitting there drooling for 20 minutes. As soon as I saw the Kingswood, I'm like, oh, Chad's gonna fucking hate me. So I couldn't resist.
Oh no!
Shit,
Awesome.
I'd take that Kingswood and put a 5.3 in it, get rid of the big block, and a different wheel and tire on it.
What year is it? Oh, it's a 70. It actually is a good big block, but yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I like it. I like both, but yeah, I prefer
So going
the
with
Laguna.
one. I'm going with McTaggart on that one.
Yep. Okay.
I'm all about the Kingswood.
I know. We all know about you and the Kingswood.
He likes
What you know what? Speaking of things that give me lumber, speaking of things that
He
give me
said
lumber,
wood.
right here,
You gotta love the transition, don't you?
I know. I'm good tonight, dude. I'm on. Ready?
We know, you told
Look
us.
at that. Look at that. What's not to love?
Ooh.
69 Camaro convertible, front wheels in the air. This is
Why ever would you like that?
I know. It's so near and dear to my heart because my Camaro looked like that forever as a kid. And I'm trying to look at what the class designation is on the door, and I can't tell.
Does it look like NSA?
It could be N. I'm not sure. I really should look through my photos, and I'll see if I can.
Here, give me a second. I'll dive in and see if I can figure it out real quick.
If I can find out.
So that's gonna be what, around a 302?
No, if it was it's all power per cubic or horsepower per pound, or its weight for horsepower is how NHRA classes work on that.
Yeah.
So it would have been
NSA.
It is okay. Then N would have been a like a 307 car. That would have been a 307 car, a 2-barrel.
Really?
Oh, or a 2-barrel 350 car. That's what it would have been. It would have been a 2-barrel 350 car. So it would have been a 255 horse 350, the same combo, but with a 2-barrel, basically. Becomes a 215 horse 350 or something like that. I'll have to look that up. It's my car was raced as a 255 horse 350, which was a 350 with like 9 1/4 1 compression. And it had, iron heads, iron intake, and a quadrajet. So in 69, the available engine options were the 302 and a Z28, a 375 horse 396. There were Copo 427s, of course. There was also the 325 horse and 350 horse 396s. There was the 375 horse iron heads and 375 horse aluminum head, which is an L89 car. Those are super rare. But let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Where is hold on. Looking. Hurry up. Where's the rest of them? Don't care. Well, this one listing I'm looking at is only showing me the big blocks. I want to see all the small blocks. I had a guy the other day, I was talking about disc brakes on the back of a 69 Camaro, and a dude said, oh yeah, this car came factory with the disc brakes. I said, yeah, it's a JL8 car. The dude was like, no, it's a factory rear disc brakes. I said, yeah, the option for factory disc brakes on a 67, 8, or 9 Camaro was JL8. That was the rear disc brake option. No, this is special. I'm like, yeah, it was really special, dude. JL8
RPO,
cars,
mother, do you speak it?
JL8s are rare cars, yes. And the dude was like, just a total douchebag about it. And then apparently went and looked it up and realized what it was, and that I was correct. And so then he came back and about, oh, I was confused. I thought you were talking. I was like, okay. Okay, so here we are. So, no.
Maybe, kind of, sort of.
Hold on.
Do you have to shake the thing and consult the beaver on this one?
No. Okay, so
He's got the magic 8-ball out.
The LM1 was the 255 horse 350 combo. There was also an L65, which was a 250 horse 350 combo. I'm not aware of that one. There was the L14, which was a 307, 200 horse 307 combo in 69 that was a 2-barrel. But there was also in 69 early, you could get a 210 horse 327, which that car could be, we'd have to see. But yeah, anyway, that is a low power small block combo. But, you know, with that said, it probably runs deep in the 11s with that, you know, no horsepower combo, because there ain't nothing stock about a stock eliminator combo. I mean, there are, but, you know, still. So, okay, here's the numbers for engines.
Yeah, 'cause they wouldn't put any lead weight or anything in the frame rails or anything.
No, shut up. I don't know what you're talking about. My car's perfectly weighted the same as...
I wasn't referring to you. You're incriminating yourself.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, it's not illegal now.
No, he's throwing his dad under the bus.
No, he didn't do it either. We bought it that way.
Statute of limitations have run out anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so yes, so V8 offerings in 69 would have been the 210 horse 327, which had a 2-barrel Rochester on it. 18% of the Camaros manufactured came with that. 29%, the largest percentage of Camaros, came with the L14 307 cubic inch, 200 horsepower, 2-barrel equipped small block Chevrolet. Only 4%. Wow. Only 4% of 69 Camaros came with the 255 horse 350, which makes it the fourth rarest engine combo in a 69 Camaro. 1% came with a 350 horse 396, 3% came with a 325 horse 396, and 2% came with a 375 horse 396. 8% in 69 were Z28s. There were way more of them than in the previous years. But yes, 255 horse 350 with a 4-barrel quadrijet, 4% of the total 69 Camaro production. And then L65, which is a 350 with 250 horse. Oh, it was a 250 horse 2-barrel combo. Wow. It must have been a hot rod 350, but with a 2-barrel.
Well, now that Chad has put everybody to sleep.
I know.
I was going to say, you ever make a crack about my Mopar trivia again, dude, I'm bringing
Yeah, I
myself.
don't care. Doesn't matter. Nobody cares. All right. So what I really brought this up for was not because of what was in this, but to tell everybody that's watching, we have tons of photos from the class racer. Oh, it does not like this.
It does not. Just skip to the next photo whenever it does.
I know.
that.
Yeah, it doesn't like it when I'm sharing. I mean, look at all these happy dappy cars.
It's Grippo.
I mean,
Grippo, every time we send them out.
I know. This is Dan Grippo this time. Dan helps out too, and Dan's the man. I love them. They do great. Ooh, that one's spinning the tires pretty hard. Ooh, that's a AA stock automatic car. That thing runs low 9s on a 9-inch wide slick.
What track is this?
This is Numidia, whatever it is. Yeah, I can't remember. Oh, NVIDIA. Hold on. Now you're going to make me look. I can't remember.
Making me look. Making me work for my money.
Yeah, Numidia. Numidia. It's in Pennsylvania.
Okay. It almost looked like Central California. I mean, just the way the scenery is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because a lot of Central PA is just nothing but leafy trees and rolling hills. That does look a little bit western for Pennsylvania.
Brian Lum says they have a 69 ZL1 427 car in the house right now.
Can we borrow it?
Ooh. Dragster Jeff Kreider in the house says he saw a Kingswood wagon with a 454 with 3 2-barrels at an Air Force museum in Idaho. I believe it.
Okay,
Pursuit car, I
so
wonder? I know they used El Caminos back then, but
Yeah.
that would be
since we're on
interesting.
this Camaro thing,
Yeah.
you heard what Evan at TCI bought, right?
No.
He bought a real DZ302 car,
Ooh.
and
And he's
is
going to make it
presently
into a pro touring car or something?
getting mini tubbed.
No way.
I swear to God,
Wow.
I about socked him in the frickin' neck.
I have to tell you, I am not I'll cut up almost anything, but that's
their
not
limits.
one of them.
Yeah.
I would never personally do anything like that myself.
Yeah, whatever. You'd cut up anything, but not almost anything.
I lied
like
to some
me.
old man with a Model A so we could buy it just so I could get it home and yank the body off it and put it on another chassis a long time ago
That's true.
because we didn't want to start out with a piece of shit body.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Speaking of Model A's and cool stuff, the big news this week, like the big news that made me so sad, and it just, God, it sucks. I've been there. I've done this. Rain at Bonneville.
Yep.
Yeah,
We
it
were
was a
lucky.
beauty of
We
one,
had
too.
we had Wes Allison on site, and he shot a bunch of photos and was able to get them to us from Friday, out on the salt with everybody working on them and all of that. But there was no no racing happening, that's for sure. And it sucks because the number of people that were out there, obviously from all over the country, and spend real time and real money. Now Kilger, our buddy Mike Kilger, was supposed to be out there with his new car. I saw them loading up. I assume they made it in, but I didn't check. So, but I wanted to talk about a couple of these hot rods. That one of the neat things about Bonneville every year is that there's all these hot rods out there that a bunch of them you go, why in the hell would you possibly take that out on the salt? Because it's evil and it ruins everything it touches. But then you get these weird old hot rods and these customs, some of which people have made new and some that are barn find stuff. This thing is a trip. It looks like a race car, obviously. The chop is both awesome and hideous all at the same time. What do you think?
It's wrong in about 90 billion ways, but
I know. God,
I don't
think
care.
The story on that car was it was raced in Bonneville in '59.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. I understood it was a 1950s real deal race car, and they ruined it by putting the new numbers and stuff on it. But apparently, that's what it looked like before.
I can only imagine going
video.
into the sunset with that thing and getting
Oh.
completely blinded because of the angle of the windshield.
Oh yeah,
I don't care. There's something about Bonneville when you see stuff like that on the salt. It is like you have made it to hot rod heaven.
well, I mean, that is part of it.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's
Yeah,
you'll see.
I found
you'll see
something
those random shit out
interesting.
there. Like the one time I was there was a GMC Scenic Cruiser, big honking bus from the late '50s that looks like it's got a tumor, but on the salt it looked magical. It's really weird how Bonneville will skew your perspective.
I found something interesting the other day that Chad will appreciate.
okay.
Ooh, I love the white.
Well, I
Dude,
think
this
all you
car
will
right
appreciate.
This car here just does it for me. I love that thing. But hold on. Ooh, hold on 1 second. I need to.
You see what those are?
Yes. Okay. So are they from your dad?
Yeah. They're
Okay.
the original Rosetta timing tags that are engraved.
That are your record. So
Yep.
at Bonneville now, for anybody that's watching and doesn't know, so we talked a little bit about Bonneville and some stuff on Tuesday, and because Lyle was asking questions and everybody was losing their minds, they were very interested in this stuff. So just as a FYI, Crosby is run at Bonneville. Crosby's dad was was the
Crew chief.
Yeah, crew chief and builder of Summers Brothers Goldenrod, Streamliner. And so, the family history there is pretty real. Yeah, that's a spark plug from the
World's fastest spark plug from the record attempt.
Yes. And it's, there's
Even to throw them away.
Right. There's a lot of history there. But one of the things that people don't understand is sort of how the procedure works at Bonneville when you set a record. So we talked about it the other day. You go and you qualify for a record, then you have to go to impound. There's time limits, all those things. You have to leave the car there overnight. In the morning, you get like 30 minutes, get to work on it, and then they go out and you make your record return runs. So here's the thing. If Crosby and I were both qualified for a record in B modified mini pickup, let's say, right? So we were both qualified for the record. We had both run a run on, Thursday that was faster than the current record. We would qualify then for record return runs on Friday morning. We would go to the impound. We would both do all those things. We would have the same regulations and rules. They would check our vehicles over in impound to make sure that they still fit the rules for the record we were after. And as long as they did, then again, in the morning, we would go run. If I ran first in the morning and I went out and ran and the record was 250 miles an hour and I had qualified with a 251 and I backed it up with another 251, I would set the record at 251 miles an hour. Now, if Crosby had qualified for the record at 251 or 3 or 5 or 270, and then went out and ran a number that made his average of those two runs higher than 251, which was my average, he would also get a record. Now, my record would be gone, and if nobody went faster in B modified mini pickup during the week, then Crosby's record would be the record that went into the rule book for the next year and would show up as the final record, the standing record. Now, the reason why this is important is I would still get a plaque that said that I set a record at Bonneville because I did. Because until he went through the line, I had the record.
Yep.
So I would also have the ability to buy record trophies, the whole deal, as many of them as I want for my crew and all those things. The only difference between setting a record and somebody else then, beating it that year is the only difference is whose name ends up in the rule book. That's the only thing that is different, is that the current highest record for every class when they leave the salt at the end of speed week is the one that goes in.
Yeah, but Chad would have got a participation trophy out of it.
Yes, exactly. That was exactly where I was going. Now, there are a bunch of people that do not believe you should be able to do that.
Why? You set a record legitimately.
And that's why the people argue, no, it's fine, right? But because in my example, you were running right after me and beat my record. But the truth of the matter is I could have set that record on Saturday and it could be all week long and get to Friday and you hit it. So really I had it for a whole week, right? If it rained on Wednesday and got rained out, then I would be the guy, right? So, But I think that the records, I think they're good. I mean, I don't see any problem. The only thing that I don't agree with at Bonneville, and I understand the reasoning behind it, but I just
There's only one thing you don't agree with?
Well, no. My big thing is I don't agree with the blanket minimums in for the 2 club or the 3 or 4. I don't agree with the minimums. For those of you that are going, what the hell are you talking about? So the 200 mile an hour club is, it's not as rare as the 3 club or the 4 club or the 5 club, but it's very rare to get a red hat, which I do not have, to be in the 2 club at Bonneville. When I say very rare, way, like 10 times as many people have made it to the summit of Mount Everest than are in the 2 club at Bonneville. It's very difficult to get into. It's way harder to get in the 2 club at El Mirage, but it's still way hard to get into the 2 club at Bonneville. So the 2 Club at Bonneville.
Oh, Toby's in the house.
Yes, and eating things. The 2 Club at Bonneville requires you to set a record at over 200 miles an hour in your class. And if you set that record over 200, then you are in the 2 Club. Except. Yeah. So here's what's happened. So there are what are called open records in the book for a variety of classes at all different kind of mile an hours, where nobody has set a record there, raced on it in, ever, right? So the record there is no record. It's 0, right? Because nobody ever raced in that particular class. It's how those records that nobody has ever set, or records that are really soft because somebody just went, hey, let's go try that. They're like a record only slower. That is how Freiberger and Turk usually would plan what engine, when I was racing with them and when they're racing on their own now, what engine combo and what classes to race the car in during Speed Week, because they got 5 records in 5 days on multiple occasions, which is a really big deal in 5 classes. So you have to be really smart about how you configure the car in order to fit it in that many classes. So you're running it on fuel and on gas. You're running it blown and unblown, right? You're doing all those different combos. You're making it be a comp coupe, and then you're making it be an altered, which revolves around like covering the headlights or not, like some other things. So anyway, when you do that, you can hit a bunch of records. Well, the problem is that the 200 mile an hour club, because they don't want it diluted, they don't want it to be too easy. What they have decided is that if you take, and I'm going to use modified mini pickup again as the example. If you said A modified mini pickup had a 250 mile an hour record, B had a 240 mile an hour record, and D had a 220 mile an hour record, then it would be pretty logical to say that, C probably would have been like a 230 mile an hour car, but nobody's raced in that, right? So there's no record. It's wide open. Mm-hmm. So if I build a C modified mini pickup and I go out and run it at Bonneville, and I go and run 210 miles an hour and set the record, but the 2 Club committee has decided that the minimum needs to be 230, then my 229 mile an hour record will not get me into the 2 Club. So while I did set a record at Bonneville at 216 mile an hour, and I've been 238 there, I did not get a record, and that was fine. Or I did not get a hat. That's fine. It is what it is. I knew what the rules were going in, but I'm not sure I agree with that. I understand the principle behind it. I understand that they're going, we want to make sure that people have to run things that are fair. But the way I look at it is, if nobody's running C and I go out there and run it for real and I go over 200, which is a big deal, because if you can fucking go over 200 miles an hour, you're doing something real. No matter what anybody thinks, going 200 mile an hour is very hard to do. Then I deserve the record. And if it's not really a record, right? If it's something it's like a record only slower, then somebody needs to step up and put together a C motor modified mini pickup and let's go racing. You know what I mean?
It kind of goes along with the old deal that you can run a gas powered car in a fuel class.
100%. Yeah.
But if you run in a fuel class, technically it should have something other than gasoline in it.
Yes, so
technically.
And that is exactly how Freiberger and Turk have never run fuel in the car. Mm-hmm. Except when they ran it on nitrous, which makes it a fuel car. Yeah. By definition so at Bonneville, gas is defined as a spec fuel. You must get your fuel on the salt from them, and they must fill the tank and seal the tank before you go make your run, and the tank must still be sealed when you come in after.
Yeah, because it's tamper proof because it's got that little stripe of paint on it. Like nobody's got a toolbox with every kind of freaking paint you can think of.
Yeah, exactly. So
because nobody do that.
Yeah. So you have to run on gasoline, their gas spec fuel, if you're going to do that. If you are running in a fuel class, the only thing it means is that you're not running a spec fuel. Right. So technically, It just means they don't seal the tank. So you could run alcohol or nitromethane or anything else you want to run. That's legal. That's what the fuel and fuel category stands for.
Propylene oxide.
Yeah, exactly. All the fun stuff. But you don't have to. You literally can just go run the same. And that's exactly what Freiberger and Turk have done numerous times. So that's why you'll find them. They'll hit a record in gas that, at 261 mile an hour. And then the fuel record they set is only 259 because the salt wasn't as good or whatever. Exactly the same combo. They just didn't seal the tank. That's the only difference. Yeah. And there are people that don't agree with that say, no, you should have to run methanol or nitro or whatever, and I'm not going to argue with you on that because personally I would tend to run on fuel anyway if I could, but it's just easier and safer and happier with the methanol, but whatever, especially up there. Because you got to remember there's tons of altitude at Bonneville as far as the DA is concerned. So, yeah. So there you go. So, Wickman, if you were going to build a modified mini pickup, what truck do you build?
It would all fall down to engine. I mean, what class I
You put any engine in it from any manufacturer. So
yeah, you can do anything you want.
Yep.
Just what platform would you use?
The only engine rules at Bonneville are, well, I shouldn't say that. There is factory class, production class, which is required to have an engine that it would have been able to come with. So a small block and a small block, that kind of thing. But but that's not what modified mini pickup would be. So it literally is by cubic inches. So you could put a V11D1000 in it if you want and run it.
No. What platform would you use?
Yeah.
Quick thinking on that would probably be
okay, McTaggart, what would you choose?
D50.
No, I'm coming back to you, Wickman.
Mini truck, right? D50.
Yeah, I love you long time.
Prick, you stole my deal.
Square or round?
What
early or the later ones?
Early.
I got to go true. You say, and I get why, and I'm hard
but you like the one that most people know as a Mighty Max is the 86 and newer. Yes.
Right, and I'm doing that only for one reason, and that is the
85 and older.
No, I would go 85 and older, and you are Crosby. But he's saying 86 and newer is what he would go with because that's the one that he knows. But, yeah,
it's only because of past history. I trust me. It's a very I like the.
I had a Mitsubishi Mighty Max that was an 85, so it's the round body, it is a slick little truck with a long bed, which is good.
I'd love to stripe one up as a Power Ram, like the early Power Ram or Plymouth Arrow.
Hell yeah.
Like, they're good looking trucks. I just got to go with what,
and
history.
Dude, they came with a 4G63 in them is what was in them, which is a, Mitsubishi's same as an Evo or whatever. I mean, it was an early version, but still it's a 4G63.
Non-turbo and early, but they can
but you could put, they'll make 11 bajillion horsepower. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Or
you get one with a forklift motor and.
Well, you could be a man and you could put a GLH combo in it. Put a 2.3 with the,
Oh, a turbo 2.2?
Yeah, 2.2. There you go. A turbo 2.2.
Or throw them in the trash and put an EcoBoost motor in it.
That's what I would.
No, you can keep that trash. You can just go ahead and small block Mopar it. Nice little hot 340 in one of those.
Might as well put a Cummins 4BT in it then.
Oh, that would be my
okay, so I'm going to stick an engine that weighs as much as the truck in
the 4BT isn't actually. They're not heavy. They're little.
No, they just weigh as much as I do.
Well, yeah, that's true. Okay, Wickman, give it to me.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
1998 Toyota Tacoma Extra Cab Compound Turbo 2JZ with a little bit of nitrous.
Can't fault.
All right, next. Wickman knows it.
Yep.
I want to go one challenge. I want to because you all doubled up on the D50. Bullet side Datsun.
Oh, I like
that. Would have been my second choice.
That's a good one because Crosby was
620.
Yep,
620 with the 6-cylinder out of a Z car.
I have a smooth tailgate for one of them hanging over my.
Yes, he does. And And a louver press that has punched 11,000 louvers in Datsuns. I mean, literally 11,000.
Like all you have to do is fill in that grill, and that is swoopy.
Oh yeah.
What's up, with the louver press has a sticker on it that says, "Hard work may not kill me, but why chance it?"
Yes, exactly. Just fit it too.
Did you steal it from Sir Michael's?
No.
It is from Sir Michael's, but it was Tim McColgan's Rainbow Louver Company, to be exact.
Okay.
And he literally would punch louvers like on Friday and Saturday nights. People would just show up at his shop and like go, "Hey, can you put louvers in this?" Yep. And they would unbolt the tailgate and stuff it in the louver press. Start punching louvers, dude.
Yep.
In hoods, he said that he could punch a bitchin' louver pattern in the hood of a Nissan on a Datsun pickup because of the way the inner structure was, like the gaps it left.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do anything but unbolt it off the truck and put it in there and punch.
They're thin. I mean,
he had a pattern to do Volkswagen deck lids. Like,
yeah,
he could do a Volkswagen deck lid in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, dude, Tim had the louvering down. It's a bitchin' old machine, dude, and it's all manual. It's super cool. So, yeah, it's rad. It's really rad, actually.
It's sitting in the back of my shop right now.
Yes.
In fact, Brett was asking me about louvering something for his new bandsaw. Well, new to him.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm actually going to visit him next week.
Oh, are you?
I got to pick up the Challenger, Arizona.
Oh.
Cave Creek.
Yeah.
I got to pick up the Challenger.
Oh, cool.
Drop off the International crew cab and pick up the Challenger.
Nice. That's awesome.
Good trade.
Oh yeah. All right. What else? What else do you boys want to talk about tonight?
Straight tire or cross tie cars down on trailers.
Oh yes. Okay. So Max Tie Downs had a.
They have a video up.
Yes, and I thought we had run it on BANGshift, but I couldn't find it. So I will tell you know what my thought is.
Yeah.
It's already crossed me. But so the debate has been going on for years on whether or not you should cross the straps on your car or not when tying one down. Now,
okay, I'm gonna use a kind of an analogy. If cross tying doesn't work as well, why would you build a roll cage with an X between the two down bars?
I don't argue with you on that. I like where your head's at. I am a fan of crossing the straps when you can. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you tie either crossing them or splaying them, one or the other. So if you were tying down, like, let's say my Camaro, and you had the right loops and the right hooks, and instead of coming straight back, you went back at an angle, it would be doing effectively the same thing, right? Keeping the car from going side to side. Some cars you can't cross because there's not enough room for the ratchet strap, for the ratcheting mechanism. They say, they being Max Tie Downs and a bunch of other people, that there is no difference and that the car doesn't care one way or the other. I would say that based on the amount of absolutely dumb shit.
You know where all this came about, right?
Not right.
You know where all this came about, right?
Uh-uh.
Because people are freaking morons and they don't know where to attach the ends of the straps. So they run them on the angle and then they just wrap them around the rear end. By the time you get, and we've had this conversation numerous times about the under 50-mile rule, get out and check the freaking straps.
Yep.
Well, they'll put them around the rear end and then cross them, and then the strap slides to wherever it wants to go on the open rear end.
Yeah.
And then it's loose.
Yeah.
And then you got a car moving all over inside the freaking trailer. because they think once they tie it down, nothing's going to move. Had
Dude.
somebody that bought a brand new set of straps and they loosened up because they had not been pre-stretched.
Dude,
There's another
we were
problem.
at Bonneville. Me and Freiberger and Turk and everybody were at Bonneville. Turk is driving his truck with the Camaro in the enclosed trailer in front of us. Freiberger and I are in the car behind him. And when you leave Bonneville and you're driving south to go to Ely, okay, there's a couple of stop signs. Like when you leave Wendover and you're going on the bumpkin road up.
Yeah.
We're like a mile out of town.
I can already see where this is going.
Oh, it was awesome. So Turk's in front of us and he stops like at a stop sign and there's cars in front of him. He stops and then he takes off because he barely stops and then the car in front of him goes and he takes off. And there's this clunk and then this bigger clunk. And David and I look at each other and he goes, "Is that coming from the trailer?" I said, "Dude, I don't think the car is attached anymore." And he goes, "Dude, no." I'm like, "Dude." Stops again, goes again. You can watch the trailer door. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm like, Camaro is not attached.
He's trying to escape.
Yes, escape. And so, dude, luckily Turk feels it. So he pulls over and we get out. We're like, "Dude, the Camaro is not tied down." He goes, "No. But something's loose." I'm like, "No." Dude, open the door and the car rolls back and is sticking out the door this far. I don't even remember why. I don't remember what came off or what was in it, but some shit was wrong and the car would have beaten itself to death in there.
I've got one. 48-foot Wells cargo trailer, and this is why, boys and girls, you do not have anybody else tie your shit down. Period. Don't ever trust them.
Packing parachutes.
Tie your own shit down. You only have one person to blame.
Yes.
272-inch long Yahara dragster tied down in the trailer, supposedly, by my partner. Because I went home and had to get some sleep before I went to Bakersfield. So I stop on the way to Bakersfield to get fuel. And there's a big panel in front. There's a fuel tank up high. And there's a dent protruding out from inside the trailer like something is trying to escape. Yes, the dragster has been bouncing back and forth inside the trailer because he didn't put the freaking straps on it, nor lock the toolbox. So you can imagine what a rat crap that looked like.
All the tools out of the tool.
All the tools all over the place, car not tied down.
Toolbox laying on its face because the drawers opened and it fell over.
Luckily, to pull the car in the trailer, we had to pull the canards and the nose off the car. Otherwise, that would have been destroyed.
Yeah. Dude, now it's funny you say that because, okay, here's the other one, and you know my deal on this, Crosby. Park or no park? No park is my rule. I don't
like it being up against the park paw.
Me neither. So I pull
if it's around town, not a big deal.
No,
if you're on the road, it will beat. I don't know if most people have never had an automatic transmission apart to see how small that little paw is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Smaller than your pinky. Yeah. And I pull the car on the trailer, always with the nose of the trailer up, even though I have big, nice, long ramps. It's just always slightly up, right? Pull the car up onto the trailer, put the car in park, hook the front straps up, get them so they're clicked so it can't go anywhere, get the ones on the rear, get everything to where it's got, it's not going to roll away, and then go put it in neutral and cinch the thing down. Now, there's also another good reason for that, and that is that if you're looking at it, so on my open car trailer, my Camaro, a 67, 8, or 9 Camaro needs to sit on my open trailer with the rear tires just in front of the bar that starts the dovetail. Like that's where the rear tires go.
Right.
That's where it's perfect. So when you pull it up there, if you don't pull it all the way up or you get it a little too far, Well, when it's in neutral and you got the straps, dude, you can wiggle it back and forth because all you do is just tighten up one and pull it one way or the other. Works like a champ.
Yep.
So I am always in neutral, in whatever the trailer. I do cross my straps, but I understand some people don't, so whatever. Oh, also, leaf sprung car, I will strap down the rear axle. But otherwise, I much prefer to attach my straps to the chassis itself and pull it down on the springs. The front, I always connect it to the chassis and pull it down tight, especially because the front has Moroso springs and, loose shocks. Because otherwise, you're going down the road and that thing is just bouncing and beating the shocks out of it. Because the only difference between your car going down the road under its own power and the car going down the road sitting on a trailer is the engine turning, the transmission turning. That's the only difference, the wheel bearings. Otherwise, every bump, all of that, it's experiencing all of it just like you were going down the road.
I'm going to bring up a dark past. Early shockwaves. Remember what happened to those?
Yeah. So the same thing will happen to any shock if you're not careful, and that is what's called packing a shock. So if you cycle a shock real fast, it will tend to build pressure in it because it can't bleed through the valving quick enough, and it creates a real high pressure in the top, and it'll blow the top out of the top. And heat, yes, both of which create pressure inside. It's why big giant off-road shocks have all of those expansion chambers on the outsides. Yeah. That's for that. Okay. Well, early shockwaves that were made by a different company than Fox, a couple of companies ago, they just were not up to the task. They were great racing shocks. They were not up to the task for regular street driving. And if you had them click too tight, like you did on a pro touring car, it would pack the shock and it would blow the top out of the shock. When I say blow the top out, it was rare that it would like blow it completely out all crazy, but it would pop it up and loosen it enough that it would then leak, which meant it lost it would still have the air pressure. It just didn't have any shock valve.
Well, that's the problem we have with electronic adjustable Foxes too, that they would go to full stiff when they were turned off.
Exactly. And that's a problem.
I have a question about going back a little bit on the towing. Mm-hmm. All right. We've seen photos and videos of people going to truck shows, towing trucks on trailers that are completely laid out.
Yeah.
I don't understand the logic in that.
So
the logic in
tow down the road with it laid out. I mean, they might when they're cruising into the show itself, but going down the road, they got to have air in them so that it's
We would tow them laying on the trailer, and usually
the car that's on the trailer being laid out. Oh yeah, that's fine.
We just block them.
Yeah, I was gonna say
block them and tie them down. And the reason behind that is if you had a failure or a leak on the road, it would loosen the straps and they'd move. Yep. So that's the reasoning behind laid out. I
would tie Rusty down typically with 2 4x4 posts, one in front of the back tires and one behind the front tires, or in between the front and the rear, and strap it down. That thing was a happy.
But there's a lot of cars that don't lay out. I just tie them to the suspension or not on the body, but on the suspension components.
Right.
So
being the owner of a few airbags in my life,
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna weigh in on this because I used to do train loading whenever I'd go to Yermo for the military. Yeah. Anything from a Cuck V Blazer to a tank. The thing is it's always crossed up, at least at the bumper or at the extreme edge points.
Yep.
Depending on the weight is when you add in. Now for cars, it really doesn't matter, obviously, but for the heavier trucks, it comes into play. Always off a chassis point, always crossed, and for the love of God, always checked. And I do have one great story on this one. I'll make it quick. So to check the trucks, we would go through with just basically like a middle stake, just smack the chains, make sure they hadn't slackened up before the train starts rolling. and I watched a kid walk up to a PLS Hemet, which is the big 8x8 stacked mother that can haul around shipping containers.
Oh yeah, that thing's badass.
And I told this kid, because I was kind of semi-supervisor in this one, I was like, you just have to tap and bounce. You don't have to get crazy. And I know what I'm doing, so this little bastard goes straight off the train. No pass, go straight off the edge onto the ground in the middle of the desert, and oh, dude, he landed. He looked like the coyote falling off the cliff at the bottom.
That's what I was thinking.
And at that point, I am a couple months away from leaving. Like, that is my final military moment right there. That's gorgeous.
That. In the eminent words of Bart Simpson, ouch, quit it.
Yeah, exactly. So, Rod Hagen is saying that Clay Milliken did a video on how they tie down their fuel car, which is cool. Oh. I know they use air bladders in most of them, airbags, under them, most dragsters, which is good. I know actually on the Dart and a few other door cars, I know people that put air bladders under them too. But I
did one for, remember Clark Holroyd's Fire Escape Nova?
Oh, yeah.
Did one for him with a 224 that went underneath the cross member, way overbuilt because he did it, but it ran off the compressor and just had a regulator, so it just stayed at the same pressure all the time.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it didn't hurt the shocks or wear the suspension out.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you that if I had to give anybody a number one advice for trailering, towing a vehicle on a trailer, is
don't let Chad load all his shit onto my trailer.
Yeah, whatever. The number one thing I would tell people, is not to go to the gas station on your way home with your truck and fill it with fuel and go buy your snacks and do all that stuff ahead of time and then come home and hook the trailer up and load the car and then hit the road for 500 miles. That would be the worst decision you can make. If you want to do it right, and Crosby and I have talked about this, he brought it up, the 50-mile rule. My deal all the time, load the cooler, do all those things, everything, load the car and the trailer, hook it up to your truck, do all those things, and then hit the road in the morning and go to the gas station. Do not go 150, 300, 500 miles down the road. You go to the gas station, and then you fill up your truck. Because while it's sitting there filling up, you can open the trailer, or in my case, I only own open trailers, so you can walk around the car and go, oh, yep, that one needs to be tightened up some more, because no matter how good you are at it, all of them are going to need a couple extra clicks once you're out at the gas station. So at that point, you're at the gas station, you put some more clicks in the straps, everything's good, and then you can hit the road for a couple 100 miles. And also your mirrors, especially you douchebag Dodge owners with the big goddamn mirrors, like, for the love of all that's holy, you know what those are for? Is for seeing the shit behind you. Like, look at your stuff. If it's wiggling around on the trailer, something's wrong, dude. Like, it should not be able to go forward and backward if you did it right.
Well, you would hope.
Yeah.
Oh, McTaggart's one of those Dodge truck owners now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but his is a little. His wife owns it, and it's a little one. It's not a stupid.
You hear that silence?
It's not a 3/4 ton or a 1 ton.
Well, the other thing we did buy the tow mirrors, but there's two sizes for the new model Dodge, and we bought the smaller of the two. So they're the size of the normal mirrors, but you can rotate them up to have a tow mirror.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That makes sense.
Versus everybody who runs around here with the 8-foot, moose mirrors and back ass country road.
Scott Hartman that owned Intrax Spring Company, remember him?
Oh yeah.
Mim Speedline.
Yeah.
They had a rally car. They were going through the middle of Iowa, and he wakes up and his partner's driving the Astro van. It's hauling ass. He's like, "Man, we're moving." He goes, "Yeah, things running really good." He's like, "Oh crap!" And he looks back. The car is off the trailer, gone in the middle of Iowa.
Not there at all.
Not there at all. And his partner driving didn't notice that the Astro van that would only go 60 miles an hour with the trailer and the car on it is now going 80.
Wow.
So
It was
there's
in
a
the
car in the middle of what road?
Yeah, how
out-
bad was the car?
Actually, the car it came off the trailer and it had one of those Jmar brake locks on it, so
Oh,
it
yeah.
locked all 4 tires. Well, it bounced off the trailer and slid into a cornfield about 100 yards.
No way.
So they get the car out of the
Didn't
cornfield.
flip over or anything like that?
Didn't flip over, didn't do anything super crazy. And
Yeah.
he loves that I tell this story all the time.
Sheer stupid luck right there.
Yeah.
They
That
get
thing
it,
should have
get
been.
it. It's a rally car, so it's pretty beat anyway.
Right.
So they get it out of the cornfield, and he's thinking, oh, it's all good. Gets it onto the pavement, it's like dunk, 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 because it's all flat spotted.
Oh, yeah, because it just slid 100 yards with all 4.
No, it
Yeah.
slid down. It slid down the highway before it veered off the crown of the road.
Can
You
you
know in the
imagine
morning
being
somebody's looking
around
at this
that when
flying.
it happened? What if you were behind that? Would that have been like epic? Nobody would believe you. Nobody.
What do you mean
Nowadays,
epic?
you could have video or photo proof. Then nobody would
Yeah.
believe you that shit happened in front of you.
I'm still
Just
surprised he
point
was
to the
dumb enough
driver's
to
seat.
tell me this story.
I know, right?
All you have
Yeah,
to do
because
is point to
doesn't
the
he know
driver's
you're
seat.
going to
That
tell
happened.
everybody?
Why are you scrubbing the stain out of your seat, Bob? Oh, you ain't gonna believe this
Yep.
Yeah,
shit.
you're 100% right, McTaggart. Jesus.
I'm sorry, the car just hops off the trailer right in front of me. Something's gonna happen. It ain't gonna
Yep.
be pretty.
Yeah,
Something's going south.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So we
it.
never did. I never did hear whether Wickham likes to cross or straight tie.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you even trailered enough to care.
I trailered more than I care to count.
Oh, okay.
I
That
shuffled a lot of.
sounds vaguely like my shit never runs, so I had to tow it everywhere. Like,
Hey,
that's
we've
what that
all had
sounded
that problem.
I know.
I don't think that's a Wickham only deal.
like. Oh no, that's why I recognize that. Yeah.
I think it's because we all
Wickham
own a bunch of crap.
Yeah, exactly. It's all we own.
Wickham's got the
I'll let
ultimate
Crosby
interstate
call
horsepower.
LA Dave and ask about the infamous Mazda incident that happened, leaving LA Dave's house, pulling that back to Texas. Going back to checking the straps, yes,
Oh my God.
I had a Ford Ranger that I was taking to LA Dave, and did the whole thing about tightening down the night before and all that. Got 2 miles to the gas station, and that thing was rolling about 8 inches on me back and forth.
Shit.
I don't know what I did wrong or what. Like I said, I trailered a bunch of stuff before, but it was like I missed something or just doing something dark. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, luckily I stopped at the gas station, checked the straps, and I was good after that.
Did you hear how I met LA Dave?
No, not.
When he traded that wagon to Courtney Hollowell for the
wagon.
Ironhead Sporty. Courtney calls me up, want to go for a road trip? Sure. Where are we going? I don't know. We're going to be in contact with LA Dave on the way there. We end up in, we leave here in a borrowed truck from the Ford press pool. Borrowed
Leave
a trip,
Ontario. Yes.
leaving Ontario
California. That way,
with
for those
Santini's trailer.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I remember this one now.
We stopped at Del Taco down the street. I think it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Mid-morning the next day, we were in Kent, Texas, meeting LA Dave. We were there for a total of, as long as it took to load the wagon on the trailer, unload the Sportster, and head in opposite directions. This started out Wednesday night. We were back at my shop Friday night about 6:30.
Wow.
And that was having dinner in Palm Springs.
Yeah.
The fun fact about that wagon was that it was actually used in the movie JFK in the opening scene.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
So yeah, it's actually a movie car. That
And if you guys haven't met LA Dave, you are missing out.
I've met LA Dave, but it's been a long time.
And why is he called LA Dave?
I don't know. That's the one thing I was just literally sitting here about to ask. Why is he LA Dave when he doesn't live in LA?
He lives in Louisiana.
No way.
Yeah.
So that's why he's LA Dave.
Yeah.
LA as in Louisiana Dave. Only a dumbass, stupid Louisiana redneck idiot would do that dumb shit.
You could blame
That's
Courtney
stupid.
for that. Courtney's the one that gave pretty much everyone nicknames back.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that's true, but
I never got a nickname. It's just always been Crosby.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
But yeah,
He's
Dave
the one that
lives-
named Matt Hotch, Hot Match Customs.
Oh yeah.
Dave lives like 15 minutes east of Baton Rouge.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lovely little cool area this time of the year.
Yeah, I'm
No.
out. No, gracias. I don't like
No.
where I'm at right now. Dude, the humidity
Oh, dude,
has been ridiculous this year.
the
We
humidity
went from
out here.
boiling hot to fucking storm after storm after storm lately.
I know.
In California, it's been feeling like the Midwest out here.
Really?
And I know the difference between California and the
I know.
freaking Midwest, so
Yes,
I'm not
exactly.
just whining. It
Right.
This
sucks.
thing stuck to your leg like they shouldn't.
Yeah, you wake up in the morning, something stuck to your head, it's your fucking pillow.
Yeah. Hey, the good news is you have awesome air conditioning now in your shop.
Yes, I do. I'm sitting under it as we speak.
Oh, and when you say under it, you're not kidding. Like
I'm literally
it
under
blows
it.
directly down on the
Way
table
down.
right there.
Yep.
It
It
is
does.
currently 81 here with 25% humidity.
I don't know what it is outside, but it is 73 fucking degrees in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's double for me because it's my
Cosby,
home.
I don't know what it is outside, but it's 73 in here. Well, it's 77 in my house right now. And outside, let's see what it is. We'll see in Dallas. Let's look here. In Dallas, current weather conditions.
It's 90 outside right now.
It says, 89 here and falling.
And they're lying sacks of shit because they're saying it's 15% humidity. They don't know what freaking humidity is.
It's 47% humidity here,
Yeah.
which is all of it.
It
too
is not
much.
17%, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I've got 79 with a 67 dew point, which means
Oh,
it is
geez.
swampier than hell outside right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we have, I will say this is a funny one, but you'll laugh. So we have a weather station on the property because, the world doesn't all know, but you guys know of the insane wind damage we've had and the building falling down and all the bad shit that has happened in my life in the last 2 years. So anyway, we put up a weather station so that mom and dad could actually see what the wind was before it blew the trailer away or whatever. So it's awesome because anybody can go look at our weather station, but it is currently 86.4 degrees. The dew point is 68.8. It has no wind right now. The pressure is 30.02 and the humidity at the property right now is 56%.
Ugh.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I think the worst I've ever dealt with was that one time at Columbus. It was 106
Oh.
and 96%.
Dude, it was
120 some people went out on the stretcher.
Yeah, legit. It
It got so bad that he turned his phone off because he got tired of them calling him.
Yes. Literally,
That's one of the things
they
why I
just
couldn't.
had to call ambulances to start showing up at the fairgrounds because they had like a dozen people who keeled over waiting in line to get their tickets.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Didn't even
timing,
get in the
guys.
show
Well,
yet.
I'm heading up to there this weekend. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's one of
Columbus,
the reasons
Ohio
why
is
I can't go to that show. It's just
Oh,
because
Ohio blows anyways, but
that show is just too damn big and it's too damn open. I mean, there's no.
Oh, no. You need to work for Ride Tech and you get to stand under this big awning next to another trailer with no fucking air moving through it.
Yeah, the whole time. Oh, and by the way, let's have Columbus Good Guys, the biggest, the most prestigious Good Guys show of the year because all the awards are given out. Let's hold it here in Columbus, Ohio. The fairgrounds that hasn't been redone since 1962. The place is a shithole.
Exactly.
And I begged them when I worked for them. I was like, dude, Do you understand the number of cooler places you could do this at? All over the country, and they were having no part of it. I told them to go to Des Moines, Iowa, because
Oh God,
Des Moines
yeah.
Fairgrounds are rad. It is the Iowa State Fairgrounds, and they are super awesome. You know why? They have actual
What's that?
restaurants and bars on the fairgrounds.
And what's that other one in? Is it Minnesota or something? Where
Um,
was Back to the 50s at?
Yes.
Northern Michigan or
No,
Minnesota?
it's
No.
Minneapolis, isn't it?
I think you're right. I think it's Minnesota, Wickman.
Yeah.
But that place has restaurants and stuff in it too.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's bitchin'. You'd love it.
Yeah,
The Des Moines Fairgrounds are the Iowa State Fairgrounds are like
The only highlight to Columbus, there's only one. One is the Jeg store across the street.
Well, that's true. And
That's
even
it.
then, the only reason I like going to the Jeg store is because, unlike Summit, this is the one thing Jegs does do better than Summit. Every Jeg store, or at least they used to, I don't know about now with the new ownership, they had a section in the back of the store, scratch and dents and returns and stuff that were shelves full
Oh
of them
yeah.
in the store at every one of the stores. Every one I've ever been to had it. And so you could walk right to the back right corner of the store and you're like, yes, I'll take that Jazz fuel cell that somebody already tried to install, and so the bracket is bent. And
They had a whole pallet of 5-gallon Jazz fuel jugs that were scratched.
Literally.
Me and I think it was Schilling. I think we bought all of them.
Oh, dude.
Because they were like $3 a piece.
Yeah, dude. That's the thing,
I'm
is
like,
that their stuff was like, get it out of here price.
Yep.
I bought a 12-gallon Jazz fuel cell with the 45-degree filler neck, the whole mounting kit and everything, because all the bag had popped open and the straps were still there, but the bolts weren't there. And like the filler neck had, was missing the cap. Okay. I bought that thing, took the filler neck off of it, flipped it over and bolted it back in, shoved all of the shit inside it and sealed it up, because I was at a Jeg store and I had flown there and I packed it as carry-on luggage because it was so cheap. It was like a 12-gallon cell for like $30, dude.
Damn.
Yes. I sold it the next week at a swap meet for like $125. It was awesome. Yeah.
Holy Reynolds.
Yeah. Brett Vocal did a couple years ago. He went cruising around on a golf cart at Des Moines. Good guys. And I was just like,
Thank you again.
holy crap.
No.
She's talking to the cat, not me.
Yeah, it's like, what is she yelling?
But yeah, he did a ride along, just cruising the fairgrounds, and I was like,
Yeah.
holy crap, I want to go that place just because.
Dude.
I mean, you can park it on the grass under a tree.
Oh yeah. You can.
Well, that's
so there's a
that's
whole
when he
route
had
you
the
can
Mustang there,
cruise.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, the silver car. Yep. When you
No, the Pro Street car.
Oh, it was when he brought the orange car out. That's right.
Because when he just got it put back together.
Yeah. The coolest thing, see, at Des Moines is that you can cruise a whole route because there's streets, like full-blown streets. Yep. There's multiple restaurants, including a 2-story Mexican restaurant with an outdoor patio on the roof that looks out over the autocross course. And one of the restaurants has this giant bar, and the whole side of the restaurant is like big doors that roll up or pour to the side or whatever. So, and when they do, it's the bar. So you're sitting on the sidewalk on your bar stool at the bar, and you just spin around, and cars are cruising literally 4 feet away from you while you're sitting at the. Oh, it's the best.
Yeah. What we need to do is take the 32 out there, let people pay us $100 a lap to take 32 for a run, and we can just set up at the bar and drink.
I like that a lot. I am all over that. I will sit upstairs. I announced a few times from the bar, looking down at the autocross. So yeah.
Sometimes you eat the bar, or sometimes the bar eats you.
Yeah. All right. It's been a long one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you so much for joining us. We've talked about Which hose clamps are the best? Check them out on BANGshift.com. Which wagon we would take, the Laguna or the Kingswood?
Laguna.
And Wickman says that the Kingswood gives him lumber, so we understand.
He likes wood.
He does. We've talked about Wickham's heavy steel wheels, which are right there behind him. Nope, the other side. See, you did
It's
it.
gonna fall.
I'll do it. The thing.
I'll get it right.
Next time we're here, will have fallen off and killed the cat.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
a good possibility.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys joining us.
Again, the cat, not me.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
No, it's gonna fall on your foot. We all know it.
Bye. See ya.
Night, folks.
See you guys later.